Same result. Same team. But Erik Karlsson gets closer to 100. He might not have played much defense tonight either. We'll break it all down and more right after this here on Teal Town After Dark. Good evening, everyone. Oh, you love to hear that. It's April 6, 2023, and your San Jose Sharks lose to the Colorado Avalanche 6-2. How did they get to an overtime with this team the other night? Welcome to this edition of Teal Town After Dark, your live interactive Sharks postgame. We do this after every single Sharks game, home and away. Oh, we got 4 more of these to go. Oh, God. So if you want to be part of the show, here's how you do it. Chat with us and fellow hockey fans all over the world and in Sharks territory on the YouTube page or the app. Of course, you want to follow us on the social, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, Reddit, Discord, TikTok. We're working on that one. Find everything at teal10usa.com. And if you want to support the pod, you can always do it with a Venmo donation at teal10usa or hit us up in the YouTube Super Chat. Yes, indeed. And with that, we say good evening to Jules.
What's up, guys? I'm back, and I'm no longer undefeated when the Sharks actually lost a game when I'm on. So thank you, Sharks. No longer my fault.
It's no longer Jules' fault, even though we might blame her May 8th when the Sharks end up picking 6th overall in the draft.
Will Smith is a San Jose Shark.
We'll be getting jiggy with it coming up, but first, Jules, good evening to you. What an interesting night of professional men's ice hockey.
I think one team was an AHL team. The other team was.
The other team looks like they're getting ready for a strong playoff run.
Yeah, the other team doesn't have their top defenseman and still win. So
yeah,
they just lost Cale Makar.
It's bad.
They're
it's
not even
bad.
fully healthy. They had Evan Rodriguez on their top line. Offense.
And what he had a multi-point night.
Ben Myers had 2 goals. I forgot that dude existed. So there you go.
Yeah, a 2-goal night for him. Nathan MacKinnon a 4-point night along with Mikko Rantanen, who had a hat trick.
Of course he did.
Evan Rodriguez with an assist. I mean. You just look at the scoring sheet, it's just, oh, God. I mean, for the Sharks, when your top shooter is Steven Lawrence.
No, bless Steven Lawrence, but also gone.
I mean, no, the guy's kind of put it together, though, but, I mean, and he's trying to show up late in there, but, you know, when he's your leading shot shooter, I guess you could call it, with 4. You know, yes, Couture ended up getting some in the third period, and so did LeBanc. But, you know, Hurdle, 1 shot on goal.
Hurdle just had a bad game, I thought. Like, stupid penalty. That's an obvious trip. Don't get mad about it. Hurdle's had a good season, but today was just not good.
Yeah, and Thrun had a rough night.
Listen, you're putting the dude out against, like, the Stanley Cup champs. Like, don't freak out about this. He had a really bad giveaway. I think it was the 2nd goal. He just had a rough night. He's a rookie defenseman, kind of paired with fucking Shimmick. Nothing against Shimmick, but, like, give the kid a better shot. Thrun just had a rough game. Again, I'm still really high on Thrun. Just had a rough game, but also it's the Avs. They're a whole lot better than the Sharks.
Yeah. Turn up your volume a little bit. You're kind of going in and out just as a little.
That's better?
Yeah, that's
that better.
That's better. Gotcha. Just seeing that a little bit. So let's get into it. The Sharks, you know, on a 4-game point streak. Yeah, great timing. Avalanche 9-2 in their last 11. You know, they've won 5 of their last 6.
Of course they have.
They went from 3rd to 1st after the win on Tuesday. Dallas won, so they needed a win to get back into things.
Yep.
Rantanen looking for his 50th goal. Just.
I'd also like to point out the Avs injured players: Makar, Landeskog, Helm, MacKinnon. That you can literally create a top line out of those guys. Like you could create a full lineup out of those guys.
You could practically create a power play around most of those guys. Hell,
most of those
maybe.
guys would be top liners on the Sharks.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Gushchin gets a night off from going back and forth between the.
I did not think that was allowed. I thought we were only playing Gushin from now on. Gushin must play every single game of the season.
Just playing Sharks, Cuda, whatever. No, he gets a night off. Adam Raska gets the call up from the Cuda.
He had a +1. Although, he had a +1. Give it to Raska. I mean, he had an okay game. I honestly wish they'd call up Robbins over Raska. Robbins can provide you, I think, more offense. But I also don't think they should have thrown Robbins. I'm sorry, Robbins. But Gushin had like one goal with the Sharks, 1 goal with the Cuda, an assist with the Sharks, and then 2 goals with the Cuda. So he's on fire. Glad they gave him a day off.
Yeah, I'm glad he got one and is enjoying himself in San Diego, hopefully. Felix Chow on the Twitch. Of course, if you haven't already, we are also, along with YouTube, we are also live on Twitch and Twitter. So join us there as well. We'll take your comments on Twitch and YouTube as we speak. So thank you very much for joining us. Starting to get some of the comments from the locker room. If you want to be a contender, we can't let these lapses happen. Yes, but you've been letting it happen all year.
Isn't that kind of your thing right now? I don't want to pick on Lawrence, but like y'all know this has been happening all year. Don't act like this is new.
Yeah. Mikey J. Hurdle is just too one-dimensional offensively. By not scoring or doing anything with it. It's been a rough run for Hurdle for sure. First period, you saw basically a quiet period. Karlsson gets a goal like 15 minutes in, and like not even a minute later, Colorado gets it back.
I thought the first period was one of their best periods they've played. They were actually getting chances against a very good team, and then the second period it just all fell apart. But like, what's new with the Sharks?
Right, but I like the pace that period went. In the first, I thought they had some chances. They generated some play. Yeah, they gave up a tying goal to Rantanen, who gets his 50th after Kakinen seems like
we'll talk about Kakinen.
Where he seemed like he absolutely owned him. Yeah, and but that Karlsson goal kind of left and the puck was just sitting there in the slot. It seemed like for Karlsson, he just pinches in to get things going for the Sharks, 1-0. And then Rantanen comes back because Rantanen's like, I need to score this 50th goal on Kakinen.
Through his 5-hole. I don't remember if that goal was through his 5-hole, but the Avs were breathing.
Yeah. It was off a rebound of a MacKinnon shot to tie it up at 1-1. And then the second period happened.
The Avs had the first 10 shots in that second period. Like, that's how bad the Sharks were playing.
Yeah. And by 8 minutes in, Rantanen completes his hat trick, gets to 52. If he wishes he was playing the Sharks the rest of the way, he might get to 60 at this point.
Might get to 100 at this rate.
Yeah, that's for sure. MacKinnon in the middle of that, his 37th. So Rantanen had an assist on that, so that completes his 4-point night along with all that. But the Sharks would get something going in the second. You have Lawrence getting his career high 9th goal of the season. Karlsson had a lot to do with that, though.
I jumped out of my chair when I saw Karlsson do what he did. Ate the Avs roster alive. That was, the Sharks are bad this year, but we can appreciate that basically ridiculous by that Karlsson.
Right.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But especially when they showed the zoom cam up from the upper bowl, you could definitely see how Colorado got confused with the defensive assignment, and that's where Lawrence was left wide open.
Yeah.
And Karlsson had that nice pass, almost with no look, to get the last shining moment for the Sharks to make it 4-2. Unfortunately, Myers would get back a goal later in the period. The apple goes to the Long Beach native. Oh, excuse me. Okay.
Of course, the Long Beach native gets an apple. Like, makes sense, right?
Well, yep. He was looking sharp as cheddar. So after one, it was 1-1. After two, it was 5-2 Colorado.
Of course.
Reminiscent of early on the season, where the second period just was a nightmare for San Jose.
When is the second period not been a nightmare this season? Just constant, just horrible second periods for the Sharks.
The middle frame I thought wasn't too bad, but I mean early.
I mean,
season.
It could have been worse. I mean, they had such good pace going from the first period. I thought, okay, they took them to overtime somehow last game. I don't understand how.
Yeah.
And then they just lay an egg, which is normal.
Unfortunately, so Myers would get his second goal of the game. Go off his skate and in, beating Reimer to make it 6-2. That's pretty much your scoring for the night. Really disciplined game all around. I mean, both teams, I think, had I think they had one power play each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. So nothing much on that one there. Another comment in from the locker room from Stephen Lawrence. Last year it was more man-on-man. This year it's more zone. It was a learning curve, but the system is paying off.
I mean, the broadcasters kept on talking about the Sharks wanting to check more, and I think I heard, don't quote me, I heard Quinn saying yeah, it's not so much about skill anymore, it's about checking, and I'm just okay.
What about puck possession?
What about any type of skill? Are you just building your team around guys being able to hit?
Well, if that's where we're going, then we don't need to worry about Connor Bedard coming here, because we're going to need for more grit. And you know how well grit works, Jules? Because, I mean, last time I checked, you need pucks to go in order.
You need someone to score?
Yeah.
Then let's just have a line of Gadjevich, VL, and Raska. One of those guys can play center, right?
At this point,
have that be your top line,
right?
Please. Just throw that onto your top line, and there you go.
Yeah, no, it's just ridiculous. If you're looking for grit, or are we just going to buy everybody off of Boston University, which
you can't just win a game off of forecheck and checking. That's not how this game. We're not in the 80s. Not saying they did that a lot in the 80s, but you can't win a game off that. So if Greer and Quinn are planning to build a team around checking and forecheck, that's great and all. You need that, but you also need speed, because I think Quinn literally said we have to get faster, but then also we need to get grittier. So I don't know what this team is doing.
If I see an attempt to trade Sharky for Gritty, no. Absolutely
yeah, no, let's not trade Sharky for Gritty. I love Sharky too much.
Gritty is overrated.
Yeah.
Nick Cooper with a $10 super chat donation. Of course, all the super chats go help keep the lights on with the website and such on here. He's saying Hurdle doesn't use his size. He should be a power forward with dangles and skill. He's taken the entire year off outside of the occasional game here or there. Can't happen next year. $64 million. And I
mean, you're not wrong. Hurdle had a stretch there where he was really, really hot, but I've also noticed with Hurdle, he's kind of he's on and off. I don't think Hurdle in his career has ever had a time where he was just only on constantly. So Hurdle's really much so an on and off player. And it's just unfortunate because Joe Will, Joe Will offered him he has the 8x8 $64 million deal now, and it's you expect more from your number one center. So yeah, Hurdle's just having a bad year, but who on the Sharks isn't, except for Erik Karlsson?
Yeah, I mean, he had his second best year as a Shark. Last year, that's how he got his big deal at 30 with 30 goals.
But like we see that with anyone on their contract year. Like, do we think Bo Horvat's going to go putting up the same numbers he has this year? No, absolutely not. I'm just shocked this isn't Erik Karlsson's contract year. But yeah.
Yeah. David Quinn, their talent level caught up to us over this 2-game series.
Okay, great. But you're going to build a team off grit? And again, I don't know if Quinn directly said that, but like the guys on the broadcasters were like, they have to check more. So I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, no. They have to check more, sure. If you want them to check more, that's fine. I get it. But what does that mean? 1, you don't have the puck. 2, you're chasing it. Come on.
Yeah, and I'm shocked the Avs' talent level didn't get to them last game. But like you can forecheck, you can like grind them down all you want. You still need some skill. That's my thing.
The thing is that I think if you were to flip the results of these games, it would make a lot more sense. If they had the 6-2 loss on Tuesday night and the Sharks, got a point out of this one, I think we'd be more understandable about this. But considering that you played so well against them and
the Sharks do better when they have more young guns in their roster. Look at the lineup they had last time versus the Avs. They had Gushin in there, they had Pettersson, and they had Thrun, and they had Bordeleau.
Right.
The Sharks do better when they have more young guns. They need younger talent to take over this roster, and not your, I don't know, Mark-Edouard Vlasic. I couldn't think of anyone, but like they need more young guns and more speed because they're not going to win ever if they play like this.
No. Stephanie in the chat, Parker and McLaren were our hard hitters. Missed those dudes. Their talent level, where's our talent? It's nearly invisible.
Well, we have talent. They just decided not to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will always say this, and I was, growing up with this for years. In life, as in hockey, it takes goals to win.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Sharks taught me over the years.
Here's the thing. You can look at the bright side of this. The bright side is Pettersson, the guy we traded Scott Reedy, the guy that was in the trade for Scott Reedy, lighting it up. Like 5 points in 6 games. I think he's on a point streak. Like he's lighting it up. He's playing really well right now. Karlsson is probably reaching 100 points. I'm going to say next game. Maybe not versus the Oilers because Connor McDavid might explode.
No. Let it happen on Saturday.
Hopefully it happens on Saturday. But like we can look at like the bright side, and like look, Gushin is lighting it up. Robbins is lighting up. Bordeleau hasn't looked horrible. He's gonna hopefully get his first goal. So also there is a bright side to all this madness, but like it's a little foggy right now. Especially if the Sharks get like the 6th overall pick, this season would feel like such a stab in the heart.
I'm starting to get concerned a little bit with Bordeleau. He had that one play on the tying goal in the first period where he didn't communicate with Karlsson that he was letting go Rantanen, and Rantanen gets open for his 50th there. That wasn't a great setup. From either one of them.
I think Bordeleau's also like an on and off type guy. I'm shocked they called him up, honestly, not going to lie. I was a little surprised because he was cold in the CUDA. Like, when they called him up, he wasn't lighting up the AHL like he did at the beginning of the year. So I don't know if Bordeleau's just tired. So I'm honestly shocked he got the call up to begin with, but like he hasn't looked like, I'm not concerned for him, if that makes sense. I'm more just like he seems like an on and off type guy.
Right.
Which is also concerning, but like you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And it seems like they've been, a lot of the guys have been on and off. I mean, Hertl had that first goal in Prague and then went on a schneid. I mean, with Timo Meier, which kind of started with the team just falling apart early on. And just,
this team just with its consistency seems on and off. So I think if the Sharks were on, Bordeleau would already have his first goal. You know what I mean? But the Sharks are also not on right now. Like, even they got lucky with their 3-game winning streak.
Yeah. No,
Winnipeg
totally.
forgot how to play hockey. Who else did they play? Arizona's Arizona. Like, good job. You beat Arizona. Congrats. A lot of teams can say that. But, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And Ian was saying, he was scoring again when they called him up, but I think he's hurt or tired. First season of a pro hockey is a bitch. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so he was scoring. Yeah.
He wasn't hitting like spot on when he got called up, but he kind of got off his schneid a little bit.
I was still shocked when they called him up because I thought he was cold in the CUDA.
Yeah. Another Nick Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
Super chat. Thank you very much. To be fair, hoping I'm doing that like Letterkenny there. Quinn, he has given up good minutes to the skilled young guys when they've been up, unlike Bob, lol. Unlike what Rangers fans warned. Yeah. I mean, but I think Quinn also noticed what he was coming into and that he's going to have to. I got this from SJ Sharks Facts. Thank you, AJ, for that. After 27 years, the Sharks have allowed 300 plus goals in a single season. Last time was 1995-96 in 357, and the other 2 years were the first 2 years that the Sharks had in 91-92 and 92-93. I think that 92-93 when they actually hit 400. Yeah, 414 goals on there. So, way to go, Sharks.
Yay. Good job.
Good job.
Good job, Sharks. That's not even the worst of the facts.
Yeah. It's just gonna, yeah. All right. So while Karlsson wasn't the best on defense tonight, we do want to give him some stick taps. I'll let you have that, Jules, on that one.
So there are now 6 defensemen in NHL history who have scored 98 points in a season, or Coffey, Potvin, Leach, cannot pronounce that name, and then Erik Karlsson. So Karlsson is having a historic season, and he also now has 53 points at home this season, which is the second most in Sharks history other than Joe Thornton. So in 2006, 2007. So Karlsson, historic season. The man's ridiculous. If you're curious for the Sharks plus minus, Karlsson on the ice, they have a +5 goals. Even strength goal differential. Karlsson on the ice +5. Karlsson off -61.
Ow.
And Karlsson doesn't play defense, by the way. I mean, not in this game, but Karlsson doesn't play defense.
Yeah.
They're not going to give him the Norris because he doesn't know how to play defense.
Tell me I'm wrong. He hits 100, he wins it. If he doesn't hit 100...
Okay, he's hitting 100. If he doesn't hit 100, I will be genuinely in shock.
Yeah.
Unless he's injured, which I don't think he is, but don't want to jinx it. He's hitting 100. He's a lock for the Norris at this point.
Yeah. At least he should be. I know a lot of teams, especially those who follow East Coast and the Canadian teams, are moaning and groaning about him, but still, I think it's for the taking there.
Yeah, he wins it either way. Yeah,
So the Sharks lose this one 6-2 to the Colorado Avalanche. We mentioned Peterson, 2 goals, 4 assists in his last 8 games.
Yeah.
Gregor was silent on the score sheet, so that ends his run recently. LeBanc, he had 3 shots on goal, but nothing on the score sheet.
He's played better recently, but again, he's on and off.
Yeah, and I mean, the last 10 games coming into tonight, 5 goals, 1 assist. Way to get it going in garbage time.
Yeah, thank you for that, Banker. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Sharks will not have double-digit home wins.
Mm-hmm. Because I don't think they're beating the Oilers, so I think they're sticking at what they are. They're at 8 right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so they're gonna finish. If they win Saturday, it'll be 9. But I mean,
they're not winning. If they do win, I'll genuinely throw a party. But I don't think they are.
Make sure you join the party after the Sharks and Oilers on Teal Town After Dark. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below to be invited to the party. Especially
when Connor McDavid lights up the Sharks.
At this point,
hey, Vlasic will be paired against him because he's still on the first pair, eh?
Oh yeah. Why not? Why not?
Wait.
Oh boy.
No, I do agree, Nick, that LeBanc was one of the few players who actually showed up tonight. Like, I will give Banker credit where it's due. He has been playing well recently.
Yeah.
And yes, Morrissey's also in the conversation, but like point-wise, no one's even close to Karlsson right now.
No. Makar might have the numbers, might have the pedigree because he is the defending champ, but he has lost some time. He did not play in this 2-game series. And at this point, really, why should he?
Yeah, at this point, they have 4 games remaining. Don't put him in there if he's not ready. And it sounds like he's not even going to be ready for the playoffs. So, give the guy a rest. I mean, The dude already has, Yeah. The Avs are already so good.
Yeah. It's like the Sioux. They're so fucking good.
No, yeah.
Righty?
Yeah. They're ridiculously good.
Yes. Corey Masisak, kind of echoing what I had put on here. The Sharks will finish no higher than 28th, so they will have the 5th best odds. That means that they will pick no worse than 7th overall in the 2023.
So by Sharks luck, we're going to get 7th, right?
Yes. Now, that being said, Arizona lost tonight. Congratulations to the Seattle Kraken. They clinched their very first playoff spot. Have fun playing against Colorado.
Have fun getting demolished.
Yeah. I
wish you good luck.
Good luck. You're going to need it. If Arizona, gains one more point, or
what's
the
Arizona's
Sharks
schedule?
Or the Sharks lose one more point, then they will finish up at 29th, which means the 4th best odds or 6th overall. That's most likely going to happen there, so we'll be on the lookout for that.
So Arizona's playing the Ducks, Kraken, and Canucks.
Now, Ducks have nothing to play for.
Kraken are going to be resting their top guys. Probably.
Well,
maybe I don't know.
I'm trying to see if they even have a chance to. Sorry, I'm trying to see if the Kraken even have a shot to getting to the 3 spot.
Probably not, because I think they're. Hold on.
Yeah, they're at 96 points. LA's at 100. Edmonton's at 103. So 4 would be 8. 104. They have a shot at getting the 3, but LA is at 100. It'd be tough for them to fall apart now.
LA really has to break down in order for that to happen.
But most likely, Seattle will open up against the Central Division champion, and it's been going back and forth between Colorado and Dallas. Minnesota lost a tough one tonight against Pittsburgh, which would have kept them in there. Now they're 2 games back, and Colorado has a game in hand on Dallas and Minnesota. So
here's my thing. Even I think whether it's the Stars or the Avs, Seattle's not making it through. I think this was a surprising year for Seattle. I think honestly, I was not I knew they were going to be good. I wasn't expecting them to be this good. They started the year really hot and then cooled down. So I think whether it's Avs or Stars, Seattle's not making it through. Now they're going to sweep them because I said that, but
Hey, you never know. And Shane Wright and the Windsor Spitfires were eliminated.
They got swept by the OHL Rangers, right?
Yeah, I believe it was Kitchener.
Kitchener, yeah.
So maybe Shane Wright comes back. Ace
comes back, plays 3C for them, or plays 2C, or plays on the wing with Beniers. The Seattle has a really good prospect pool. Also, they have Beniers and Wright down the middle. Sharks fans, look at who the Ducks have down the middle. Look who have the Kings down the middle. It's scary it's scary.
It's really scary, and to think at the moment
the Ducks could get Bedard.
Yeah, the Ducks can get Bedard.
And we all know they're just pairing him with McTavish on that first line.
Yeah.
They're not going to have him play center. They don't need a center.
Yeah.
They'll put him on the wing.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, and Ian saying, huge upset there in the OHL. So that'd be so we'll see how it goes. AJ, what are you saying? Would it be amazing to see a Sharks defenseman complete the greatest individual season for a San Jose Sharks defenseman, only to be traded in the offseason with 4 years left on his contract? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is the summer to trade Erik Karlsson if Guerrero's actually going to trade Erik Karlsson, because he's not repeating this next year. If he does, okay, wow. But we'll see.
And kudos to him staying healthy. I mean, it's been. I mean,
it hasn't. Listen, if he played this way in 2018-19, we win the cup. If he did not get injured in that series, we win the cup. Like, I don't think I'm the only Sharks fan who feels that way.
Yeah, if Karlsson is healthy or at least semi-healthy, I think they do a little bit more the rest of the way.
Yeah,
you know? But that's what happens in the playoffs. Yeah.
And yes, the worst nightmare is the Ducks getting Bedard.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. Like, I was telling that to Puckguy before we went on the air. Like, worst nightmare for me. Like, he can go to Chicago, but just don't give him the Ducks, please.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, out of it all, I mean, with those four, yeah, I mean, Chicago. I mean, Columbus is the best bet. Chicago, just because I'm tired of Chicago, and they might literally move the Winter Classic from Seattle to Chicago if Bedard comes in. You know.
Oh no, they absolutely will. I mean, I also wouldn't be too upset with Montreal, if the Canadians got him, because I feel like that would be really. I just don't see it happening, but I would not be too upset with that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
God. Ian saying Columbus is the only right answer.
No, you're
not
true.
wrong.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong. I'm just like, knowing our luck as Sharks fans, it's gonna be the Ducks. No, I'm kidding. But like, you're not wrong. I would love to see Columbus kind of, get that. But I also want the Sharks.
The T. No, Chicago. They deserve the long rebuild. I absolutely agree.
Sharks, Chicago.
Oh, jeez. Proud Hedrick. I have a severe ear infection, and it's nowhere close to being as painful as how this Shark season has been going. You're not wrong there.
Also, here's the thing with this draft. You miss out on Bedard. You land on Adam Fantilli, who had like a historic NCAA season. Like, I know Michigan's out now, but like, the dude's also fire. Like, in any other year, the guy's going first overall. And I don't mean the person to be like pounding at that door, but I'm just saying, get hype for Fantilli, because Fantilli's also a player. Why can't the Ducks win a damn game? Because they have no goaltending and they're like a minus 100.
Yeah, even though John Gibson is, I
think he's
pretty
out.
Good.
Wasn't he injured, or was I hallucinating that? I don't remember.
That I have not seen. So
cool. So I was hallucinating.
Well, careful with that.
Financial accounting will do that.
Yeah. School will do that. I'm so sorry. I will say, we're gonna kind of throw back things a little bit. We're not gonna do an intro, but we will do a wraparound, because we gotta call out a few things. You mentioned it earlier about Minnesota, or excuse me, Michigan. Michigan lost to Quinnipiac.
Yeah.
I hope I'm saying that 5-2 in the Frozen Four. Minnesota beat
Denver.
Beat BU. Excuse me.
Yeah, BU.
Sorry, David 6-2.
Quinn.
Yeah, so if Quinn and Greer are upset tonight, well,
that's why the Sharks didn't come out on time, because Quinn was too upset about the BU score.
Right.
Yeah, Logan Cooley lit it up. That Arizona prospect is so good. I'm so jealous.
Yeah. Let's see what happens when you pick a decent one. Yeah.
See what happens when you don't give up the 3rd overall pick. Tim Stützle. Sorry, Sharks fan. Oh yeah, Pavelski, 999 points.
Yep, that's what I was getting at. He had a goal and 2 assists tonight. Gave Sharks fans a shout out on I think that was post game or during an interview, at least tonight. Yeah. Timo Meier gets 2 goals.
Of course he does.
In an 8-1 shellacking of Columbus. He gets to 40 on the year there.
Who's ready for New Jersey versus Rangers? I'm so hyped for that series.
Oh, that's going to be a fun one. Tampa Bay, Toronto is going to be a good one. Toronto lost a tough one in overtime tonight after
Steve Dangle's happy.
Yeah, I'm sure he's thrilled. Losing to Boston again doesn't trigger warn him at all. As we said, the Kraken clinched a playoff spot for the first time ever. And this was one when I was trying to look up the Women's World Championships, because USA opens Friday against Switzerland, Canada Saturday. Division 2 Women's World Championships. Where's it being played? Mexico.
I love that.
Mexico beats Chinese Taipei 2-0. I know that's kind of irrelevant.
No, you're good.
But I love how it's in Mexico and it's growing the game. It's the women's second division world championships, which is awesome. So, speaking of awesome, let's briefly. I mean, we talked about Daniil Gushchin, but let's strike up the intro for the Barracuda.
Ooh, Barracuda!
We got to give some love out to Ian Reed, who gifts all the Barracuda games on the Twitter machine. And he was witnessing, a nice shellacking of the Barracuda taking down the San Diego Gulls, which they should, 6-3. I'll give shout-outs to Ozzy Weisblatt for a hat trick. You will give your love to...
Yeah, Mukhamadullin, guys. I think he had a 4-point night. I'm excited for him. I mean, the Barracuda were it was kind of a must-win game for them against the Gulls, and the Gulls are crappy. I know that, but Ozzy starting to heat up, Mukhamadullin starting to heat up. That was a really good Barracuda game.
Indeed, Aaron Dell looked great in that one and everything. Did I say most? I meant to say all, but I think one. Ian, so stay taps to you, buddy. You've been trying to do as much as you can around here, as much as possible. I appreciate you on that. The Barracuda, I believe now, I think they come back home.
I don't remember their schedule.
Yeah, they have the back-to-back home games to finish out their home schedule. Friday night, 7 p.m. against Colorado. 6 p.m. on Saturday night against Colorado as well. That's fan appreciation night, so it is a hockey day in San Jose.
Nice.
Sharks play at 1 o'clock on Saturday against Edmonton, and then 6 p.m. at Texas Arena, the CUDA take on the Colorado Eagles. Good seats still available for both.
So here's my thing. Let's say the CUDA make it into the playoffs. We all know they're getting just demolished by Coachella, right? Because I feel like either way, they're it's great to get the experience, but they're also just gonna get their asses kicked up and down the ice by Coachella.
Yeah, and how that works in the Pacific Division playoffs, the 3 games, the best of 3, will be all in the one barn. So Coachella would get all 3 games potentially.
Yeah.
All this time I develop hiccups, which is great.
Excuse
me. Pardon me for that. So Tucson is at 68 points. Both teams have 4 games left on their schedule.
Yeah.
CUDA are at 64, so they're 4 back. So they need some help. Tucson.
And they're also playing Tucson their last 2 games of the season. So
that's going to be a big one.
It could be decided at the last game for all we know.
Yeah. Ian, help me out here. Do you know who Tucson has left on their campaign? Because I know that the CUDA have the 2 against Colorado, and then I believe it's the 2 on the road in Tucson, but I don't know who they have in the meantime there. So, yeah. That'll be an interesting one down the road. So, are they...
I think they have the 2 games versus Texas Stars and then the Barracuda.
Oh, okay. So
Texas.
It can come down to that those 2 games in Tucson.
I just read Return of Merkley, haha.
LM. Yes.
I love that. Hey, we're winning that trade right now. Just like to say, I think Jerk also pointed it out on Pucknologist, but we're winning that trade.
Yeah, the thing is that he's been scratched in Colorado too. And the worst thing that's going to happen is that, that's so Sharks, is that's like Merkley getting a hat trick in front of the fireball.
No, don't get me wrong. He's going to light up the Sharks. No doubt. Yes, the return of Merkley game.
So for the remaining schedule for the CUDA, Friday, Saturday against Colorado at home at Texas Arena, and then next Friday and Saturday, they finish up the regular season at Tucson. For Tucson, they have the Texas Stars, 2 games, and then the CUDA to finish out their regular season. So a lot to be on the line for this one. And, of course, Coachella Valley is going to be still trying to fight Calgary for the top spot in the Central.
Yeah. So it's either Dustin Wolf or Cole Lind. Pick your poison, Kuda.
Yeah. So be on the lookout for that one. What else are you going to be looking out for is After Dark following Sharks and Oilers Saturday afternoon. It is a special 1 p.m. start time. So be on the lookout for that. I believe I'll be checking in with Ian and Jules running the ship on Saturday afternoon. So be on the lookout for that. I don't know why I'm repeating myself, but apparently I am. I don't know. It's 10:54 at night. I'm ready to pass out. So Ricky saying, do you think Pearson can keep up this point pace next season?
I mean, I think he's making the Sharks out of camp. I don't know if he's going to get a shot again. Like he might, he'll have to fight for the top 6. I don't think he'll be given that per se, because you're adding guys like Eklund, and I think Bordelot and Gushin all have shots. So I think he'll make the roster. I just don't know if he'll play with Hurdle like he is right now. So it's hard for me to say. I don't know. We'll see. But I think he is making the Sharks out of camp.
Right. Could be an interesting one. I mean, no matter who the Sharks draft, it's going to be interesting to see who makes this lineup and who on the CUDA fights to make this lineup.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of guys have a shot. It's just depending on, if also the Sharks, it also depends what the Sharks decide to do and who Mike Grier decides to go out and sign in free agency with whatever cap space they have. So yeah. So
keep it here. It's going to be a crazy off season, and it will really commence on May 8th at 4 p.m. with the draft lottery. For sure. It's going to be fun. So be on the lookout for that. And in case you missed anything or you want to watch this again, check us out on tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, whether it's Apple or Google Podcasts, YouTube, SoundCloud, Discord. The Discord following the show tonight. Yeah, I'm probably getting in trouble. Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Odyssey, Amazon Music. Of course, if you're on the YouTube channel, leave a comment down below if you're not watching us live. And of course, hit that like button, subscribe, and the notification bell so you know when we do go live. Always available at tealtownusa.com. So with that, we'll bring this show to a close, and the Sharks will bring their home schedule to a close on Saturday. Jules, great show as always. Your final thoughts?
Great show to you.
And
hopefully the Sharks lose. That's all I have to say.
And hopefully the Ducks, Hawks, and Blue Jackets find a way to get one more win out of them to make it interesting.
And if the Ducks get Bedard,
you'll remember that 3-game winning streak.
Remember the 3-0 shutout to the Jets.
Remember that 3-0 shutout to the Jets. The 7-2 annihilation of the Coyotes.
Mm-hmm. And the 4-3 win versus Vegas out of all teams.
Yes, in overtime.
Hmm?
That sets back this franchise 10 years.
Nick, I agree with you. Lose every game.
We can only hope. So, Jules, thank you. Everyone in the YouTube chat, thank you. And thank you to all you viewers. We appreciate each and every one of you. Again, we'll be back following Sharks and Oilers Saturday. And until then, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you Saturday afternoon.